and welcome back to the second match of the WSL 3.0. That is the match between the Coronations, the Duchesses. The Coronations won the toss and elected to bat. Captain Laura Wolfart is currently batting right now. This ball from it is 53-1 to the Coronations. The only batter out is Tasman Britt. She was out for 12. She got strangled down the leg side of the bowling of Michaela Andrews. They just came off the flap of the pad and onto that leg stump. But currently 11 overs in, with 10 as well supporting her there. The big news is that Nadine de Klerk has withdrawn, meaning the captain of the Coronations is Laura Wolfart. Will let you know who has replaced her in this team. And the Duchesses have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bowlers. Mona Lisa Lachodi, Alyssa Exleben is about to start wearing the number 15 to bowl. Zintle Mali opened the bowling, 2 overs, no wickets for 4 runs. And Paulina Mashishi, who's also a late entrant into the side, has 2 overs, no wickets for 8 runs. The first ball from Alyssa Exleben has been played down to the leg side for a single by Laura Wolfart. Nice little sweep there. And Captain Sunay Luce's returns so far are no wickets for 11 runs. My name is Mpho Mutlane and I've got Chris Tyndall Bisco with me. Chris, how's it going?
Yeah, very well, thanks. It's good to know that people are listening to us again. It was awkward silence for a good long while, but some good cricket in between. Typical Laura Wolfart's innings. Some beautiful cover drives as she's famous for, and just holding up her end of the wicket like she always does.
Yes, and that's what you see. She's transformed her game into a limited overs player, much better limited overs player, and she's proving it all the while again. This a great sweep shot there from Kirsty Thompson around the corner, with Mona Lisa Lachodi fielding at 45, slightly slower there to get it back to Sinalo Jafta, and the Coronations have taken a quick single. The Coronations this time, compared to the earlier game, are rotating the strike a lot better and currently sit well placed for a nice little finish. This one's a short ball from Exleben. It's hit out to the square leg boundary. Great fielding from Michaela Kirk there, and it is a 2 taken there by the Coronations there. Laura Wolfart's total goes up to 29. And Exleben coming in. She's a right arm off spin. Ball slightly. Wolfart getting the two end of the bat there, and no run possible. So far, they'd be happy with having 60 in 12 overs at the end of this one. Full toss and hit down the ground. Great fielding there by that is Gabisile Nkosi at long on. And it will be just a 2 taken in 100, and the Starlights not being able to get there, losing by 11 runs. 6-gun Grill Newlands, if you are just tuning in on the Pitch Vision YouTube web page. Please do share it widely and let everybody know that we're back live and YouTube is back up. Mona Lisa Lachodi in, right arm, the rookie from Northerns. This one cut out to backward point. The fielder is Alyssa Exleben, doing a very good job there of preventing any run there from the Gauteng opening bat. That is Kirsty Thompson.
She did play a few matches for South Africa all the way back in 2011, and then took some time off to study, and is now plying her trade in cricket once again, playing for Gauteng.
Lachodi in, this one down the leg side, and Kirsty picking that up very nicely, turning that into a half volley and dispatching that over to deep.
Looked like probably the most put together innings we've seen of any of the sides. The Coronations really making the most of the strong top order. Wolfart and Thompson both firing, batting pretty clinically, and perhaps that pressure is evidence in the fact that the Duchesses have used 7 bowlers already, the most that we've seen today so far.
Lachodi in to Kirsty Thompson. This one's wide outside the off stump and played out to the deep cover boundary, and it will be great save there from Michaela Kirk, and the Duchesses save 1 run as the Coronations pair of Wolfart and Kirsty Thompson run through for 3 there. and you have a partnership now of a 38 between the two. That is Kirsty Thompson and Laura Wolfhard. Very nice partnership there, building from the two. We know that Kirsty Thompson took a break and she's back again and batting with a lot of intent so far. She's on 20 with Laura Wolfhard on 31, not out. Lechodi in a 2. Wolfhard, nice square drive there from Laura. It was a full ball in the block hole, and Laura Wolfhard just managing to squirt that out on the bounce to the fielder at backward point. Slightly overcast conditions here in Cape Town. We've got the construction site going on very much, but a good way. I'm sure the players will be very pleased that the clouds have just come in slightly to save them from that massive that heat. Next ball in out, played out squarely, and then I'll just hand over to James, who'll be coming through and taking you with Chris into the finale of this innings by the Coronations. Mona Lisa Lechodi coming into that stride, fuller ball, inside edge onto the pad there, slightly stifled appeal there, but great bowling there. Another dot ball in this over.
Yeah, so at the end of the 13th over, we say goodbye and hello to James, as we see Coronations 69 for 13. The Duchesses here have a similar sort of setup to the Starlights in that they've got a provincial coach in Martelise van der Merwe who's favoured a few of her. She's the Northerns coach, and she's chosen quite a few Northerns players in the side. So Alias, Mignon Dupree if she was playing, and Robin Searle if she was playing, Gandhi Jafta, Dalmi Tucker, Michaela Kirk, Mona Lisa Lechodi, lots of Northerns players in this side.
Yeah, it's certainly been interesting to see, Chris, that they've used 7 bowlers so far, and it's going to be Paulina Mashishi again here from the Weinberg end. She's bowling to Laura Wolfhard on 32. Trademark Wolfhard shot, but well fielded in the covers by Michaela Andrews, who's been the only bowler with any success so far, with a bit of a strangle down the leg side, as Paul was explaining.
And then I just want to correct myself quickly, because the people who are following this probably follow the cricket close enough. I'll carry on after this delivery. A flighted delivery from Lashishi, which is swept to the square leg boundary as they go through for all. It would have been a single, but a misfield, and they managed to come through for 2. Dalmi Tucker, who's not playing here, was a Northerns player, but is now playing for Northwest.
Okay.
Same side as X11, who's playing in this game now.
And yes, it is X11, the off-break bowler from Northwest, and only had the 1 over so far.
Slightly faster delivery here from Shishi, not quite as flighted, and Laura Wolfhard just plays that to the fielder at mid-on, and they go through for a single.
Kept the wickets in hand here, Chris, so possibly a big charge towards the end. Laura Wolfhard known to accelerate her innings.
And that's a development that she's made in her game. For a long time she
really
was
well played.
Yeah, lovely reverse sweep. My favourite shot of the day so far, probably, as it runs down to the third man region. Beautiful boundary, which is appreciated by the crowd. I'm not sure how well that carries across in the audio, but all the teammates have really enjoying that.
Teammates in the dugout there for the Coronations enjoying that shot from Kirsty Thompson. It certainly was very well executed. Might have been predetermined, but it was played very fine, and there is nobody there. It's a ring field on the offside with a backward point, extra cover, and a deep long off.
Penultimate delivery from Ashishi's quite a full delivery on middle stump, which is just played back down the pitch by Thompson, and there's no run there.
And to finish that field 5 on the leg side. We'll get there now.
Yeah, ready for that sweep, and Kirsty Thompson resists temptation, doesn't go for the sweep, just plays it into the offside, and a misfield means that they go through for a single. A couple of misfields that we've seen so far in this innings.
It hasn't been as polished an effort in the field from the Duchesses as we saw earlier on today. I must say, some really good catches taken, particularly in the deep. Laura Goodall with a couple of good catches for...
And Tumise Kukuno for own bowling as well. Was a brilliant sports and bowled
catch, And some Paul was explaining in that match the bowling attack of the Thistles coming through and strangling the Starlights, falling short by 11 runs, only thanks to a ninth wicket partnership of 50 by the youngster Kushi Mistry and Tatum LaRue from the Western Province. And change of bowling at the Kelvin Grove end. We have Gabisile Nkosi coming on for her second over, first over going for 9. She's trying a bit of a change of angle this time.
So
left armour, I think she's left armour. She's going to be coming. She's going to be coming over the wicket. So she started from this end, the Weinberg end, and now bowling from the Kelvin Grove end. Left armour going to be angling it across the right-handed Kirsty Thompson as a Hardy Dar flies in front of us here at Newlands. We've had no major bird invasions of the field today, though.
We've seen quite a few pigeons, but that's especially mundane.
Yeah, that's Nkosi from the Kelvin Grove end.
Yeah, left arm over the wickets into Kirsty Thompson. This is a shortish delivery. Thompson just gets on the back foot, hooks that to square leg, and it's over the boundary before the fielders can get within 10 metres of it. Lovely fall there.
Very well played, and with that, Chris brings up the 50 partnership between these two.
51 runs off 47 deliveries, 3 fours in it, so that good evidence of how they've rotated the strike.
Really good. And that has been good to see, considering earlier on we were sort of struggling to rotate the strike, but Kirsty Thompson's been quite inventive, actually.
If you contrast that to the Thistles, who won the first game, who scored quite a few boundaries from Bosch. She's scored 9 boundaries in her 50.
Yeah.
And again, is Nkosi another shortish delivery, quite similar. It's pulled to the exact same region. Exactly. The fielders tried even less this time. They knew exactly what was happening as soon as that ball was short. All they had to do is go pick it up over the boundary. Unfortunate start to the over, not what you want to be doing. Maybe one of the senior. There's not really.
I think Sine Lys, from a point of view of being the most senior player in the team, from a bowling point of view,
definitely
it's quite difficult. Those 2 deliveries now set the over up beautifully for the Coronations. 8 off the first 2 balls, and this could be a horror show for the rest of the over. If it continues to be like that. She may overcompensate now. We'll see
one would imagine that she won't bowl that delivery again, but we'll see where it ends up.
Left arm over the wicket to the right-handed Thompson.
A fuller delivery, much better, and Thompson just punches that into the offside as they go through for a single.
And that's where you want to be bowling, with a 5-4 offside field.
Yes.
And we've got Andrews at a short third man. We've got Erxleben at a backward point. We've got deep cover on the boundary. A woman, should I say, at extra cover, and then a mid off, and it's down the leg side again.
It's a shortish delivery, but the fielder is slightly squarer now and is able to pick that up before it makes its way over the boundary. Laura Walvart goes through just for 1 there.
And field is staying the same for Thompson and for Wolfart. And widely dispersed on the leg side, so sort of long leg almost there.
But look what he'd taken the position where those first 2 fours went, so that's slightly closed up.
Coming around the wicket now, Nkosi, and that's outside the off stump.
Picked up by the sweeper on the offside as they go through for another single. So we were talking about the boundaries and the strike rotation. They've managed both here with the 2 fours and then very good strike rotation subsequently, even though Nkosi's tightened up her line.
So it's 11 off the over so far. She's staying around the wicket to Wolfart for the last ball of the over, and let's see what happens with this one.
Oh, it's a good delivery, and it's just over the fielder at mid-off, and bit of a chip shot where it's not going to run away to the boundary, and they get through for 2 in the end.
It's a bit of a 9-iron from Laura Wolfart, perhaps a little bit of a lower trajectory.
Yeah, just a little punch over the fielder, but not enough force behind it for it to travel all the way. So 90 runs after 15 overs.
My goodness, that sets them up beautifully, doesn't it? 6 and over, and this is going to be the best score so far.
Something
WSL.
Absolutely awful happens.
Disastrous happens. It's unlikely they're going to score 10 off the last 5 with 9 wickets in hand. They are ideally positioned to look at about 140, 150, one feels.
That's ambitious for mine, but we'll have to have a look. As we say, Senelius back into the attack. She's still got 2 overs left. Yeah, by far the most experienced bowler in this Duchesses lineup. And the captain, she'll have to take a bit of charge here, try to slow this down, and best case scenario, break this partnership.
Yeah, bowling from the Weinberg end, where we're situated for this commentary. And she's going to be bowling to Kirsty Thompson.
Of course, right arm over this one. Good length. Thompson gets on the back foot, manages to play it towards offside, and they get through for a well run 2.
Yeah, good fielding in the deep there from Michaela Andrews, the Southwestern Districts player who has picked up the only wicket so far in this innings, that of Tasman Brits.
Michaela Andrews, whilst researching her, I found out she took a bit of time off cricket to play rugby while she was in the army. So now this one seems slightly slower, and Thompson just gets on the back foot to wait for it, dabs it to a very short third man, and there's a single there.
So perhaps that would make sense that she's from Southwestern Districts, with George being the home of the women's regiment, as far as I'm aware.
Another flighted delivery. This one slightly fuller. Laura Walbot, lovely drive, but it doesn't get further than the fielder.
Mashishi on the ring. Right on the edge of the square. So the weather is getting a bit gloomier here at Newlands.
Yeah. Perfect James Anderson weather as this one's driven past Mashishi and is picked up by the deep fielder Gabsila Nkosi, and another single. Brilliant strike rotation. We've seen 2s and 1s off every delivery
really good
of this over so far.
So 4 off the over so far. Senelius has been one of the most economical, apart from Zintle Mali, whose first 2 overs only went for 4.
This one, Thompson goes for the sweep, it's skied.
Oh, what a great catch.
Yeah, lovely running, diving catch from Jafta. That's the partnership break that we were talking about. Thompson's upset with herself, understandably.
But Senelius getting that ball to spin away, as is the want of a leg break bowler, and just not quite to the pitch of it, and skying that one is Kirsty Thompson for a very well played 38, and we'll get those numbers for you shortly. A good partnership as well between Thompson and Laura Wolford of 64 for those two for the second wicket. Kirsty Thompson 38 off 32 balls with 4 fours, very good strike rate of 118.8, so it's about 7 runs and over on one's looking at runs per over. And to join Laura Wolford in the middle now is going to be, is Elsa Lear? Just checking on who's joining Laura Wolford in the middle. Yes, it is indeed Elsa Lear, the Free State batter, and she'll be joining her captain.
It's a good time for her to come in. She's one of the longer hitters in this tournament. And nice base for her to build off of here. As we see Senelius, this one, a bit of a full toss. Yeah. Laura Walvart knows better than to go to that, fall to that, and she just gets on the back foot, pulls that out to the field at square leg, and they go through for a single. At the end of the 16th over, Coronations, 95 for 2.
Yeah, having lost the second wicket in that over, that of Kirsty Thompson. So Senelius, the captain of the Duchesses, taking a wicket, and again only 5 off that over, which certainly does mean that your projection is probably more accurate than mine at this stage, Chris.
Yeah, wickets in hand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it does depend very much on Laura Wolfart either staying there and rotating the strike whilst and then even opening up, which is what she does tend to do towards the end of the innings.
We spoke about the fact that she's definitely developed that skill more in the last year and a bit, where she can accelerate, and she has those different gears where she's able to.
Yeah, and it looks like there's going to be a change of bowling at the Kelvin Grove end. Zintle Mali is coming back, and she'll bowl her last 2, probably on the 17th and 19th over. She's going to be bowling to Laura Wolfart.
Yeah, Zintle Mali coming in right arm over to the right hand of Walbart, pulls out of that one. Not sure exactly what was wrong, but the ball never left her hand.
No, so but Wolfart had already made a little bit of ground down towards the bowler. So intent is very clear here from Laura Wolfart. We're expecting some reasonable acceleration in the scoring rate here. 5-4 offside leg side field.
Here we go for real this time. Marley and a foolish delivery.
Oh, that's
Wolvard,
it. Beautiful.
brilliant, aggressive without being overly sluggish, and it
Yeah.
just chipped over the ring field as it goes very quickly to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, so as you might have seen, going across to the offside and playing that over the ring field on the leg side, and that's given Captain Sinellis quite a lot to think about as her premium bowler is hit for doubles her run tally that she conceded off the first ball of the third over.
Yeah, very economical up until that point.
Let's see what Laura Wolfart and let's see what Zintle Marley can do.
It's worth
with this
noting
one.
there is now a fielder where that last
There
ball
is
ended
indeed.
up.
Yeah.
And Marley, fuller
Oh,
delivery this time.
you can't put a
Wolvard
fielder
just
there.
gets the outside edge,
Lucky.
and it dribbles away to the almost long stop boundary. A very fine third man boundary for 4. That's
And
quite unlucky.
It is unlucky. Just certainly a false shot there from Laura Wolfart.
And it
Takes
brings
her to
up
48.
and the team hundreds.
Yep.
So 103 runs off 102 deliveries. Just 9 fours in that.
Yeah, so it's, as Chris was saying earlier, rotation of the strike's been very good. Quite a lot of 2s and 1-3 that I can remember. So they've been putting that ball out into the gaps and into the outfield. And it's Wolfart again on strike.
This one, foolish
great
delivery,
shot.
straight
Again,
drive.
good.
The fielder should get there.
This should be Laura Wolfart's 50. And so second 50 we've seen today. And Wolfart raises her bat to the dugout in front of the southern stand here at Six Gun Grill Newlands, and accepts their applause for yet another 50.
Yeah, I think most supporters, if you ask them who's most likely to get a 50 today, they'd say Laura Wolvart. She's
50 off 48 balls. She's been there from the beginning.
This one looks
Slower
like a slightly
delivery.
slower, almost an off cutter from Marley. It's also full, just driven to the fielder at long on, and they go through for a single.
So it's been a very measured innings, as one would expect from Laura Wolfart, and we've come to expect her to just keep the scoreboard ticking along to begin with, and then accelerate later on in the innings. And still 3 overs and 2 balls left, and the highest score of the tournament so far for the Coronations, 106 for 2.
And now we also get to see the intent that Azal Salia has brought to.
Yeah, let's see. So I'm looking
The
forward
crease.
to seeing this.
Lots of
my word.
intent as she
Oh,
goes
my
for the dill
goodness.
scoop.
Okay,
The
yeah.
scoop shot doesn't get it quite right, but Jafta, the wicketkeeper, is
Yeah.
not able to get to
I
it
think
either as it runs away to a very fine leg
And
for 4.
that was given as 4 runs, not given as buys.
Yeah, I think she did
funnily
get a
enough.
bat
She
to it,
maybe
even
got
if it
nick
wasn't
on
a
it.
scoop, just
Yes.
a thick sort of inside
Yeah.
edge.
And may have just caused Sinala Jafta not to have picked up the line of that one. And we'll give the credit to the batter, maybe.
Yeah, bold if nothing else. I think
Yeah.
the first delivery there from
Very bold.
Celia.
Yeah.
One,
She
o-
was
one,
also
yeah.
really bold. Oh,
One delivery left, and Celia this time
Oh,
almost
slow
played
ball.
2 different shots at that. A lovely slower ball, which caused Celia to double think and missed it twice. 2 different shots.
She did. So huge over for the Coronations, 15 off it, and that really pushes the scoring rate along rapidly to 110 after 17 overs, 6.5 and over now.
Yeah.
So looking possible for that perhaps that
130.
140. That'll be a tough target to get on this field.
Yeah, I think lots of good middle order batsmen, not necessarily a
Yeah.
strong top order from
Yes.
the Duchesses, but lots
Yeah.
of capable batsmen within the 11.
Very much so. So we're looking for some good innings from Faye Tunnicliffe. Sine Lease herself is a key player for
Yeah.
the Duchesses in their run chase.
Duchesses realistically had 3 different options at wicketkeeper here.
They do. Yeah. Sine Lease in again for the
Oh,
last over.
bit of a
and
full
that
task.
is
Laura Wolvart again knows what to do with that. Pulls it to the field at square leg, and they go through for a single.
just a single. She hit that too well. In fact, that really full ball from Sine Lease, and something she has had a problem with, just getting that ball
Yeah.
when she's trying to really put a lot of rotations on it, not quite
That can
pitching it.
often accidentally be a wicket-taking delivery,
It can,
those
yes.
loose ones. But I think Laura Wolvart's a bit too experienced for that at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's see if Celia has that same intent to lease
Yeah.
as she did in the previous
Oh,
over.
another
Another
one.
foolish delivery.
And that one also
full
pulled
toss
out.
rather. Yeah, pulled out to
They
the field
should
at
get
square
2
leg.
this time, and They do indeed good running. That time, the fielder in the deep, who is, I can't see who that is actually in the deep. I think it may be a replacement fielder out there. I'm sorry, Gandhi Jafta making a bit of ground to her left to field that one. Michaela Kirk's been patrolling that boundary for most of the innings.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Another
very well
bold
played.
shot from Celia. It's this one a slightly better executed scoop, but she doesn't get as good of a result. She just gets 2 for that one.
Yeah, so
As Jafta, the wicketkeeper, chases it down.
yeah, she did. So 2 Jaftas in this Duchesses
entirely
team.
unrelated as far as I
Absolutely
know.
unrelated as far as we know. Yes.
Senelius in again, this one slightly flatter
Oh,
and shorter, and it's just dabbed down to the fielder at third man as Celia runs through for another single.
One of the things been very noticeable, Chris, has been how quickly Laura Wolfart's been going through for those singles
Yes.
from the balls that are going behind the wicket, and that's been a feature for me of the running.
Not as full of a toss as the previous deliveries, but Laura Wolfart's still able to drive that to the fielder at long off for a
And
single.
she now moves to the highest score so far in the tournament,
Yeah.
overtaking Annika Bosch score from earlier today.
And Celia's showing her
And-
intent,
she's
and she
gone.
goes for it, but she's caught just
Yeah,
on
it's
the ring.
Michaela Andrews on the edge of the ring, who's taken that very nicely. Trying to go over the top there was Isabel Celias, not
But
quite
yeah,
getting it there.
definitely the right intent all
Oh,
the way
yeah.
through, and she was able to score at the sort of rate they required.
I mean, 23, the partnership in what couldn't have been more than 2 overs, and really accelerated the run rate significantly for the Coronations. So Celia out for 9, and the new batter is. We're just going to have a look and see who the new batter is. Is that not perhaps Landsman? Is that perhaps could well be Landsman?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that it is. It might be.
maybe.
It might be Reddy.
Veronisa Reddy.
Yeah.
Veronisa Reddy could well be Veronisa Reddy. Yeah, the catch was Michaela Andrews. There we go. So it was the end of that over, and Zintle Mali will be coming in to bowl her last over, the 19th of the innings, and
Yeah,
Laura
very
Wolfart will be
economical for her
facing.
first 2, and for just 4 runs across her first 2 overs, and then 15 in her third. Marley comes in again, full toss. Laura Wolfart knows what to do with that.
They're
Doesn't
gonna- they're
fully
gonna want to go
capitalise.
for 2, aren't they? Yes, and they will.
And a bit of a
my
misfield
goodness.
there. 2
Yes,
goes at it.
that's,
And so.
that was Lahodi out there in the deep, just not picking it up, allowing them to get back easily for the 2. I think if she had picked it up, Veronisa Reddy would have been struggling to get back for that second. But as it was, 2 runs to Laura Wolfart, and batting at a run of ball 55 at the moment. And
A little bit of a field change. That
change
misfield
in
means
field.
that Senelius, the captain's, decided to go to mid-on. I guess they think Laura Wolfart's going to do a similar thing
Yeah.
to what happened to the Thistles,
Yeah.
and pick out the fielder number 1 at
Probably.
long on.
Well,
First time Goodall, this time.
watch
Yes.
this one go straight over extra cover for 4 now.
Marley and right arm over.
Okay.
Yeah.
This time is hit straight to the fielder who's just been moved there, replaced. So, but this time, Mona Lisa Lahori picks that one up very nicely as it played straight to her. Zintle Mali, 2 balls gone in this her final over, and she had been very economical up until that last over, which went for 15. Wolfart waiting for her now.
Oh, slow delivery,
And
but
that one
Wolfart's
goes
too
over
good
extra
for that.
cover, and it's going to be 2, I think. Or is it going to be 4? Well fielded in the deep, and they'll come back for the 2. So
Yeah.
Laura Wolfart keeps the strike, which is what I would think the Coronations will want her to do at this
There
stage.
may have been the chance for 3 there, but I
Yeah.
think Wolfart was happy enough to hold on to the strike with 3 deliveries left in this over.
So 9 balls left in the innings. 121 for 3. Wolfart on 57.
Marley in again, right arm over to Wolfart. This one's on the wickets.
That is-
Wolfart squares it out to mid wicket. Ooh,
And
it's
she
dropped.
She's been dropped.
It's shelled. And
Faye Tunnicliffe there putting that one down in
very,
the deep.
very difficult catch.
chance.
To the point where you would have had to almost have a close-up as to whether it was grounded or not, because
Yeah.
it sort of landed right as
did.
her hands were touching the ground. Always a difficult catch
It looked
to
like
take.
she couldn't quite make up her mind whether to run forward
Or to wait for
or
it.
to wait for it. Yeah, and in the end, did neither really, and just dropped on her towards the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, always very difficult, those
Very
ones.
difficult
Marley in again to Wolvard,
Oh, that's
straight
a
back down the
glorious
ground.
shot.
Is it fast enough?
Is it? No,
I
I don't
think
think
it'll
so.
get picked up, provided. Yeah,
Yeah,
great
another
teamwork
good
on that
teamwork.
boundary as long on and long off.
Sine Lease there coming around from that long on position, and with Gandhi, is it? Gandhi Jafta there at long off. So two more to Laura Wolfart.
And it's only
She's into the
125
Wow.
with 7 deliveries left. Marley, last delivery of her spell. Thick outside edge,
she
taken
got
in
her.
the
She
end.
got her. And that one again, Michaela Andrews takes her second catch, and it's well taken off the edge of Laura Wolfart's bat. And that's the fourth wicket to go down for the Coronations.
Yeah, end of a very good innings there from Wolvart. Vintage Laura Wolvart innings.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
61 runs off 57 deliveries, 4 fours, strike rate of 107.
Yes, it was, and as you said, Chris, a typical Laura Wolfart innings, and Ayabonga Kaka, I think, is coming out now to join Berenice Reddy in the middle for the Coronations, and will be Reddy who will be facing, I think, her first ball, as Laura Wolfart took all the strike in that previous over.
And from what I've been made to believe, Reddy, we may see her do something similar to Celia, some inventive shots.
That's good. And it will be Michaela Andrews, who's taken a wicket and 2 catches, who will be bowling the last over of the Coronations innings from the Weinberg end here at 6 Gun Grill Newlands.
So far sitting on pious figures of 3 overs, 14 runs, but the 1 wicket, 3-1-4.
So that's been a good performance from the Southwestern District's medium pacer. And that one
just
is very
inside
neatly
edge down to fine leg as Jafta gives chase, but it looks like it will run away for 4.
It will go all the
That's
way.
unfortunate for
That's
Andrews
very
there.
unfortunate.
But yeah, that Coronations total just keeps
Kula,
ticking
sorry,
up.
It's not Ayabonga Kaka, it's apologies, Zintle Kula it is, not Ayabonga Kaka, who's joined Venusa Reddy.
Zintla Kula, Free State player.
I think it's Kula, yeah. They just put up on the screen there. Oh, it looks like we have a look binoculars.
They're making their mind up
Yeah,
next
on
door
the
as
front
well.
side. Ouch.
Um,
To the grill. We'll just check for you. I think that's Ayabonga. No, maybe not.
Looks like
Yeah,
Isn't it?
we're having to argue between ourselves and the scoreboard that we've been given up.
No, it is Kula. So 4 balls left, and very well bowled. And Michaela Andrews is doing the job here for the Duchesses, keeping Reddy quiet and not able to really get the ball away. 3 balls gone in the over, only 2 runs. Sorry, only the 4 so far off that first ball. Oh,
Andrews then again.
yeah, good delivery again.
Yeah.
In one sense is with that wicket of Laura Wolfart probably ending up 10 runs short of where they would have expected to be. 130 looking like
It's
it's
still
going to be
a
the
very
fast
good score, I think.
I think so on this field, which has proved the boundaries are long and
Yeah.
not easy to hit
Ooh.
massive boundaries.
Elegant little dab,
It
but they
was,
won't get
yeah.
more than 1 for that.
So that takes the score to 130 with 1 ball left in the innings. And it's been a particularly good 20th over from Michaela Andrews so far with only the 1 ball left, and that is going to be bowled to Zintle Kula, who is the new batter. And here we go, last ball of the Coronations innings. And
big
that's
swing
well
just
played.
over the ring, and they'll
they
go
will
through
for
for
two.
at least one, and they're going for the
Yeah,
second.
Reddy will get there as well. Yeah, she will indeed. So well run by the Coronations off that last delivery, and they can feel quite happy with their 132, Chris.
Yeah, no, it was more than what we've seen so far today, and more than I thought that they were set to get. I didn't know if they'd be able to accelerate as well as they have. So yeah, brilliant total, 132 for 4, off the backs of Walbart and Thompson, 61 and 38 respectively. Nice little cameos from Tasman Brits right at the beginning, and then Celia, who scored it just over a runner ball with a few inventive shots.
Yeah,
Pick of the bowlers, probably Captain Semelius, relatively alright economy rate, under a runner ball, and she also managed to pick up the 2 wickets.
Yeah, and a good display from Michaela Andrews as well,
In the
taking
field,
that 1 wicket for 21 off her 4 overs, and also in the field taking a couple of really good catches. And so it's going to be everything for the Duchesses to do now to get 133 to win.
Yeah.
Which is going to be an interesting run chase. Should they get there, it's going to be very exciting. We'll be back to bring that to you in about 10-15 minutes time. Thank you.
See you then.
Welcome back to Six Gun Grill Newlands, where it is going to be Faye Tunnicliffe and Gandhi Jafta who are going to be opening the innings for the Duchesses in their quest to achieve 133 runs to win the second match of the WSL here, taking place here in the Western Province at the beautiful Newlands ground.
And it's a new Newlands,
it is,
or
indeed.
on its way to being a new Newlands. Mentioned it earlier, big construction going on in the background, somewhere in the region of 400 million rand being invested by Sanlam to put together a sort of multi-purpose centre.
And it's going to dominate the stadium, it looks like, from the construction that we're seeing so far. You may be able to see it in some of the visuals that you have got coming through to you from us here at Pitch Vision, as it's going to be, unsurprisingly, Ayabonga Kaka who's going to be opening the bowling for the Coronations, who must be odds-on favourites to win this match, putting together a total of 132.
Ayabonga Kaka, one of the South African players who took part in the recent women's IPL in Abu Dhabi, managed to take 2 wickets there for the Supernovas.
And she's going to be opening the bowling to Gandhi Jafta.
And nice, fast, wideish delivery that gets us a bit of play out of Jafta. She takes a swing at it, but goes straight past her to Reddy.
Yeah, so we have, so just to give you an idea of the field, it's a 5-4 offside legside field for Ayabonga Kaka. There is no slip. It's Renisa Reddy at wicket keeper. We have a third man, who I can't see who that is at the moment, backward point, a cover, extra cover and a mid-off.
Ooh, another good delivery, another swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Ayabonga Kaka really testing Gandhi Jafta there. Gandhi Jafta, another one of the Northerns players, one of the many Northerns players in this Duchesses side.
Right.
And still studying at Tux. She was actually the Tux 2020 Women's Cricketer of the Year.
Oh, very good. Interesting to see if she can get on top of this very experienced women's Proteas bowler.
Kaka, and again, right arm over. Another quick delivery.
Ooh.
This one does get the outside edge, but it doesn't get further than it ends up going down to the third man. And
That's
they
Nonkululeko Mlaba who's fielding it down here, the slow left armer who we are undoubtedly going to be seeing bowling a little bit later on. One of 6 internationals that are in this team.
Yeah, and the second highest wicket taker in the last women's
Super League. Yes, so this is certainly Coronations are the team to beat, being the defending champions of this tournament. Just to give you the leg side field, there's a mid-on, mid-wicket, a short fine leg, and a player deep on the square leg boundary, and it's going to be Faye Tunnicliffe facing.
Bongo Kaka still looking threatening, but yeah, shortish delivery that seemed in a bit to Tunnicliffe, but she managed to defend that into the offside.
And Kirsty
no run.
Thompson, it is there at cover. We have Isel Salia at a backward point. We have Captain Laura Wolfart at extra cover. And we have Zintle Kula at mid-off. Appeared to keep a bit low, that one, Chris, again.
Yeah, very good over so far. Every
been
single delivery looking at least a little bit threatening, batsman looking uncomfortable.
Again, what you'd expect from Ayabonga Kaka, just keeping that ball up outside the off stump, very good line. And what has been interesting, we'll cover that after this ball.
Another thick outside edge that dribbles down to third man. They look for 2, they decide against it in the end. So just 2 runs off the first over of this Duchesses chase.
Yeah, and that's 1 each to the opening batters, Faye Tunnicliffe and Gandhi Jafta. And just been interesting that the only players that we've seen so far from a batting point of view, apart from Lizelle Lee, we've seen Lizelle Lee and Laura Wolfart that both played in the recent WBBL.
Right.
So that has certainly been interesting to see the sort of nick that they are in.
Yeah.
A lot of the batters have struggled.
And there were quite a few South Africans at the WBBL, but not a lot of them are playing in this comp because Nadine de Klerk and Chloe Trine have both had to pull out. Mignon Dupree isn't playing, neither is Marizanne Kapp or Janae van Niekerk. So we only really have Laura Wolfart, Lizelle Lee and Shabnam Ismail that are playing in both of those.
And Shabnam Ismail looked very sharp today with her bowling, and it is in fact going to be Nonkululeko Mlaba with her left arm, slow left armers, who is going to be opening the bowling for the Coronations from the Weinberg end here at 6 Gun Grill Newlands. And she's going to be bowling around the wicket to Faye Tunnicliffe. Interesting, it's again a 5-4 offside leg side field, and we've got a player down here at long on,
and then sort
in fact,
of mid-wicket boundary.
Switched that around to a 4-5, so it's 5 leg side, 4 offside field. Janae Winster has just come into that shortish fine leg position.
And lovely controlled delivery to start
nice.
there. Just played to point, no run from Tunnicliffe. Yeah, not in a rush to start here.
No, I think it's, having taken, if they take a leaf out of the Coronations book, it's slow and steady to begin with. Don't lose wickets. Just keep wickets in hand and you can accelerate. Something that certainly didn't happen with the Starlights in the first match.
Right. Yeah, another good controlled delivery, just driven to Laura Wolfart there in the covers.
So it's that ring field in the covers, which we so often see in women's cricket early on. Just keeping the run rate down.
Slightly more flighted this one, again just driven no further than Laura Wolfart. Another dot delivery. Yeah, so Tunnicliffe, still quite young in the side, but she's got international experience and she's happy enough to bat slowly at the moment.
Yeah.
Another one that doesn't make it past the ring field.
What's
And
been good from Malaba this over is she hasn't strayed down the leg side, keeping everything tight on that off-stump line, and it's allowed the Coronations the opportunity to create a bit of pressure here on Faye Tunnicliffe.
fuller delivery. Seemed, that Tunnicliffe may have been struggled a little bit with that one, but she manages to guide it into the onside, and it's fielded by the bowler Malaba. Again, no run.
Not too much turn, I don't think, on offer at the moment, but last ball of the over.
And this one finally
straight.
pierces the gap,
Yeah.
just past Kirsty Thompson. Laura Walvart will give chase, but it'll end up going past that offside boundary for 4. So after 5 dot deliveries, floodgates open tiny bit.
Yeah, a very good shot from Faye Tunnicliffe, and went straight through Kirsty Thompson almost, but it fairly sped away to that boundary. She hit that beautifully.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. They need a good opening partnership, one feels, the Duchesses, if they're going to come close. They have got Sinead Lease coming in, I would presume coming in next in the order, or at least 3 or 4. And it's going to be interesting to see how much these two can put on for the first wicket and provide a platform for the later chase of this quite imposing total of 132. The Coronations have put on the board on the back of another impressive innings from Laura Wolfart of 61 at better than a run a ball. That's again Kaka in to Jafta.
This one, just flashed into the offside as they scurry through for a single.
Yeah, nice contact
Couple
of
more
bat
runs
on
for
ball
Jafta there.
again. Yeah, so she's on to 2 now. Jafta Tunnicliffe on 5 with that with that 4 that she scored off the last ball of the previous over. Bit of a fielding change here.
Yeah, Jafta
Interesting.
flashed at a couple in the first over like that, but this time she did manage to actually make contact with it, as we see Kaka come into Tunnicliffe. Very similar delivery.
Yeah.
Fast, wide, good length. Doesn't make it past Kirsty Thompson.
So it's Celia's there. Celia and Thompson combining to return that one. Just a little bit of a knock on by the Free State player, and just picked up by Thompson, and there is no damage done for Ayabonga Kaka. 2 balls into her second over. Oh! That one very close to the outside edge of Tunnicliffe's batters, and she's trying to play that down to third man. And Nkululeko Nlaba is down here at third man, just in front of us here at the Weinberg end. And so far, so good for the Coronations. They're really keeping it quite tight here. 7 without loss in the middle of the third over. Oh, okay.
This one is also touched it a few times. It eventually made it past her, but she slowed it down enough that she could quickly chase it down, and they didn't score any extra runs off of the mistake.
So it's 8 without loss, and ball coming off the bat very nicely. I mean, it's making a lovely sound. Both of these players playing on the offside.
Zelcelia with the slightest of limps there, just stretching out that leg. I think she should be all right.
Yeah. Actually, she was very inventive, as you said, Chris, earlier on in her innings of 9 off 6 balls. 1 dill scoop off, I think, the first ball she faced.
Yeah, a couple of scoops. This one, straight drive just to the fielder at mid-off. No run there for Jafta.
And Gandhi Jafta looking, I must say, looking the part, yeah? She's batting, looking quite solid. A couple that went past the outside edge in the first over, trying to flash them through the offside. Ayabonga Kaka has been particularly consistent again outside the off stump.
Very happy to bowl that 5th, almost 6th stump line at points. This one is on the wickets, in fact, and there's an LBW appeal, and it's given.
Oh my God, first one of the day.
If that wasn't given, it was going to be 4-leg buys, because that was racing to the boundary off the pads. But brilliant delivery from Kaka after just bowling consistently, as we were saying, on that 5th and 6th stump line. She finally put one on the wickets and gets her rewards. Gandhi Jafta there, gone for 2.
Yeah, I think I put the kiss of death on her there, I'm afraid. So she is indeed gone for that 2, and it is the captain, Sinead Lease, who is going to join her at the crease. And that one just coming in beautifully from Ayabonga Kaka, hitting her about on the line of the off stump, and that would have probably clattered into middle and leg about an inch from the top of the stump. So a good decision from the umpire, and Gandhi Jafta has to make her way back to the dugout for the Duchesses, and a bit early I think for Captain Sinelu. She wouldn't have wanted to come in as early as this, but a lot relying a lot on her shoulders I think today in terms of the batting. So
Right.
at the end of the second over from Ayabonga Kaka, she gets the reward. The wickets, 1 for 4 after 2 overs, and Nonkululeko Mlabe is going to continue after a good first over, which was only spoilt by the last ball that went for 4.
And bowling to the same person that she bowled a lot of those deliveries to. It's Mlaba to Tunnicliffe. That lovely left arm orthodox, very thick outside edge, which is running away towards the third man boundary. Isel Salia gives chase, but I don't know if she'll get there. It looks like it's just gone over the boundary.
And
despite her best efforts. 4 runs in the end.
Desperate attempts, but the result is the same as the last ball of the previous over from Lava, although the shot was not executed anywhere near as well by Faye
And
Tunnicliffe.
it looks like we're getting just the tiniest little bit of drizzle at the moment.
dear.
I don't know
Okay.
I don't think at this point it's enough to get in the way of the game. We'll
do.
keep an eye on the umpires for you.
And we're certainly not far enough for any Duckworth Lewis Stern to come into play at this stage.
Mlaba, slightly faster delivery, pitching on the wickets. Very quick, good fielding from Laura Walvart there to get it back to the wicketkeeper ready, and no run there.
So we have that ring offside field, a short third man.
They looked
backward point.
impenetrable for the first 5 deliveries
it
of the
did,
last
didn't it?
over until
Absolutely.
finally Tunnicliffe found the gap. Mlaba in again on the wickets of Tunnicliffe, who just plays it towards the mid-on fielder. It's
And
picked
that's,
up there by
Ntozake. It is Rasibe.
Ntozake, who's back after fixing her action, which
And,
was deemed illegal back in
yeah.
2018, and she's
Good
managed
see
to
her
fix
bowling.
it,
Yeah.
and slowly going to work her way back into the ranks, I imagine.
So Sinelu still faced her first ball of from her international teammate, Nonkululeko Mlaba, and bowling here from the Weinberg end. She's in now.
Slightly more flighted, but still a good full delivery, which was just defended against Laura Walbart. No run there.
This has been a sort of start that Coronations would have wanted, taking a wicket already and getting Sinelu at the crease quite early on within the power play.
Sineli's on the back foot with a powerful cut. Bit of miscommunication there. Sineli's didn't want the run, as we saw Tunnicliffe make her way about a third of the way down the pitch before running back to the non-striker's end.
And that ring field has been very effective. Again there, Laura Walford extra cover picking that one up. We have Ayabonga Kaka, who is at mid-off to Mlaba.
Flighted delivery this
very
one,
nice.
just driven to the fielder at long on, and they go through for a single.
So another, I reckon, reasonable over. The only issue being that first ball, which was sliced away down to third man for 4. So Mlaba won't be too unhappy with going for 10 off her first 2 overs in the power play, and I sense that's probably everything we're going to see from her for the moment. And I'm not sure if there's going to be a change of bowling from the Kelvin Grove end.
Ntozake, who's in that region.
It looks like
And
it
it
is
looks
going
like
to
she's
be.
setting her field, but she
Yeah.
still has her hat on. So we
Right.
get to see the reformed action, right arm
Trying to give that
orthodox.
to the okay. I didn't think the umpires were taking hats during COVID, but no, they're not. Okay, sorry, that was interesting byplay there. So umpire, having forgotten that she wasn't supposed to take the hat, took it and then handed it to the captain, Laura Wolfart, who is now tucking that into her trousers at the back, and it'll be Rasibe Ntozake to bowl from the Kelvin Grove end. Ntozake, one or two T20 internationals for South Africa a while back.
I'll double check that. I thought it may have been more than that.
It
24
may
years
have
old
been,
now,
may
but
have
2
been,
years ago
yeah.
had to rework her
So she's
action.
in with the off break.
Very straight delivery. That targeting that off stump, just defended into the offside. No run.
So that ring field working again for them, given a lot of air, and nice to see a spinner giving that ball some air And that one nicely played with Sine Loose, and she doubles her score.
Intozake played 17 ODIs and
Okay.
12 T20s before she had to rework her action.
So interesting to see how she, if she can get a place back in the team with people like Shangase and Mlaba really playing well. That was a very harsh to call that a return catch, I think, of Faye Tunnicliffe. She's got her hand to it, prevented a certain boundary, one feels, but picked up in the deep by Kula behind the bowler's arm.
Yeah, she's been playing her trade for Gauteng, taking a few wickets, being economical at the same time. Maybe not the top of the pecking order in terms of orthodox spinners at the moment, but enough to make this top 4 side competition.
Yeah, which is really good as the rain starts to come down a lot heavier now here at Newlands. We can see it as Sine Loose dispatches that one beautifully to the leg side. And yes, it looks like this drizzle is becoming quite consistent. We just received some information now around Nadine de Klerk, who's got a slight injury.
Yeah, but apparently should be back tomorrow.
So that'll be good for this Coronations team.
Yeah, they'll look a lot. I mean, as strong as they've looked. Imagine the same side with Nadine de Klerk in that top
That's
order.
a lovely shot again from Sine Loose. She's not even bothering to run. Same result, just a bit more backward of square this time. And that has made what looked like a good over into an expensive one.
Yeah.
10 off it. So I'm not...
Everyone doing their best to ignore the drizzle. I think everyone would rather play.
I'm sure they would rather play. It's probably it's hopefully going to disperse, and it will continue. Nonkululeko Mlaba is going to continue. It does make it a lot more difficult for the spinners, of which the Coronations are quite heavily weighted in terms of the spin bowlers. Yeah,
the scene is that they do have. We've already seen Kaka bowl 2 overs.
Yeah, and also getting some information here around the status of Rasibe Ntozake in terms of her says, and that one, my goodness, that could have been very, very close for Sine Loose going for the run off the misfield by Laura Wolfort. But they do manage to get through for the single, and the score 25 for 1 in the 6th over. So information we have is that Rasibe Ntozake has only been cleared to bowl at provincial level.
So we'll have to go get it tested to be cleared at the international level.
So we'll wait to see what happens in that regard, and watching Nonkululeko Mlaba. It's going to be bowling the second delivery of her over from the Weinberg end. And Sine Loose trying to slice that one with the spin away into the offside. It's a 5-4 offside leg side field. She's been keeping it nicely outside the off stump, hasn't she, Chris?
Yeah, very controlled as well. Haven't seen any especially loose deliveries from her. Because it's been dots or boundaries.
Yeah, no, just Sine Loose here rotating the strike quite nicely with Faye Tunnicliffe. One senses this is the partnership that has to build for the Duchesses if they're going to stand any chance.
Good delivery there.
Yeah, so Tunnicliffe nearly walking past that one, Chris. The rain seems to be slightly lighter. Let's just hope that it isn't going to disrupt play. It would be a pity.
Quick single made.
Yeah, Aibanga Kaka quite deep on the edge of the circle, and she doesn't manage to prevent that single. Some good running. We saw a lot of good running in the Coronations innings as well, playing the ball to the edge of the circle and taking those runs.
Lovely sweep there from Sine Loose. This one ends up being picked up by the leg side sweeper, and they settle for a single. Not quite as quick and flat as her sweeps in the previous over.
The first time we've seen Madison Landsman in this innings, and it was nice to see her coming through there and picking that one up. I didn't get a chance to see her bat today, but we're hoping we
Hello,
may get
everyone.
a chance to do that. Hi again, and Paul.
Yeah,
He's back with us
sorting out
after an extended break.
Sorting out my life. Sometimes we have things that we need to do
Yep.
to sort ourselves out. But I'm here for the next hour.
There we go.
To take you through probably to the back end of this
Yes,
Duchesses innings, which
indeed.
has been so far not too bad.
No.
28 off the power players is something that is good, a good foundation and a good base. The thing that I think the Coronations had was that they only lost their second wicket towards the back end of the innings, and that helped with Laura Wolfart and Kirsty just rotating the strike, moving the ball around. Good to see Raisibe back, and we've got I just want to see Madison Luntman.
It'd be nice to see her Landsman. She also bowls as well a little bit.
Yes,
she's an all-rounder, so good to see her get at least something. She can get a chance to bat.
There was a foolish ball from Dozake, played back to the bowler. You can see that she reminds me of, I think, of Johan Boete, but in terms of that upright action as a right arm, off spin, and not much movement in the hips. It's just bringing it through. That's very nice from her. This one down the leg side, and
Johan Boete didn't have as much rotation off that front foot.
There was a lot of darters in full. As we see,
it made him very effective in the shortened form of the game. Not as effective at Test match level. I don't know if he even played too many Test matches.
Played a few tests. Dozake in. Nice great shot from Faye Tunnicliffe down the ground, and misfield there from
Bonga Kaka. That's criminal there from the Protea. But I think perhaps the ball slightly wet.
She's turned 1 into 4. It was a drizzle. You normally get these type of showers across the mountain as the cloud comes through.
Newland's probably one of the wettest areas in the Cape with the
she gave that one a lot of flight there, driven down the ground by Faye, who's improved as a batter. She was one of the 2 batters last year to score a century, the other one being Laura Wolfart. In the WSL 1 and 2.
Okay, fantastic.
Laura scored, I think, 115. Faye scored 106 not out. Next one outside the off stump, swept down to
Tasman Brits.
Tasman Brits on the boundary using that javelin arm of hers.
First time we've mentioned her name in the field today. So
the Olympian in the midst of everyone.
Okay.
Youth Olympics. Jasmine. Javelin, not Jasmine. Tasman
Tasman
went to the Olympics for the javelin. Dozake, this one down the leg side will be bowled again. That's a wide. Veronissa ready behind the stumps. She was. She didn't get a lot of games the last time in WSL, but she's been given an opportunity now as a gloveman.
I think that's really good. Also a youngster.
Flight given on that one, played back to the bowler now, and that's the end of that 7th over, 36 for 1.
Better over there from Ntozaki, and just Sineli's playing the one boundary shot. So 36 for 1 after 7. They're actually doing well. One considers that first wicket going down. It looks as if that could have been a challenge for them, but Sineli's on 14, Faye Tunnicliffe on 19, and Nkululeko Mlaba is going to be bowled out.
Yes,
very interesting.
Probably the best outside of Bonga Kaka, second best. Best bowler in the side.
I think so.
Aya's number 1, Mlaba is probably number 2. Laura's looking for wickets here.
Yeah, I know. They certainly will be missing the
medium
seam
pace of Nadine
de Klerk.
That one was cut and got an under edge past the keeper down to just behind the keeper there. Janae wins,
making some good ground there. She did down behind the keeper.
She's also someone we were also excited to see as a right arm off spinner. So a lot of spin options does Laura have. Laura has in all of this,
but pace options are quite limited for her
at this point in time.
So it's going to be
great ball there, nice little flight there, and just Faye just letting it go through to the keeper, and not wanting to play against not wanting to try and drive that one against the spin there with the ball coming in. Ooh. Next one was just that came off the boot there.
Yeah. Bat onto boot. It was.
She was looking towards cow corner. Yeah. All she got was a boot. The ball landing on the boot.
And what's been really impressive from Nonkululeko Mlabe is that she's kept that ball outside the off stump or on the line of off stump to the right hander and had given them very little to hit.
Quick single taken there, well done.
Good fielding from Ivon Kaka in that instance, although the single was always on for them.
Yeah, Tasman didn't go, thanks to Shannon.
Okay.
Tasman didn't go to the Olympics in London. She had a car accident before she was hospitalised. This one flat batted down to Madison Landsman.
Yeah.
A little bit of a slip there. There was a wet outfield, but a single nonetheless. So she was in a car accident that prevented her from going to the London Olympics. However, she did win gold at the World Youth Championships.
Wow, that's incredible.
Which is amazing.
So she does have a javelin arm, literally.
Slog sweep there from Faye Tunnicliffe. There is no fielder in that gap between mid-wicket on the boundary and long on. And a nice way to end that over.
Yes,
with a boundary 43 for 1-7 off that last over. You could see that this partnership, like the one in the first innings with the Coronations, is the key partnership for all of this.
It is. If they're going to take it close, 8 overs gone, 12 overs to go, they've maintained that required rate of 7.5 for the last 2 or 3 overs. And that's been pretty impressive.
And you've got Michaela Kirk coming in at 4 with Sinalo Jafta at 5.
Right.
Sinalo, we've been waiting for her to get opportunities with the bat, and so I think this will be great for her. But Michaela Kirk also very new to the setup, new to the system.
So you're going to get your wish,
yes,
Paul. You are indeed. Madison Landsman is going to be bowling from the Kelvin Grove end, a 16-year-old youngster from Easterns.
Yes, leg spinner, Benoni High, my neck of the woods.
Benoni High, there we go. And she's in for her first delivery now to Sine Luce.
Gives it a lot of flight down the leg side, and Sine looking to beat the fielder. It's interesting to see that obviously Madison's bowling to the leg spin and the Proteas side.
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? She's going to give it a lot of...
she gave the first one a lot of flight, hoping for the natural variation to come through.
That's another nice delivery. Oh, that was beautifully bowled. That got a lot of turn on it and a bit of bounce, but more tennis ball type of bounce for that one.
You'd wanted to push it slightly further up to try and force the batsman to play back rather than come through with that pull shot.
The key with the leg spinner as well is to get that dip at the end and just have the...
And you kind of feel you want to keep it there slightly longer for it to get that dip.
You do. And so played where we expect it to be played out into the offside off the leg spinner, and a good quick single from the batters there. Good understanding between them. We still have that offside ring field, backward point cover, extra cover, and then a long off, and it's a more packed leg side field.
Again, another flighted ball, this one driven down the ground by Sine. She gave herself a little bit of room by clearing that front leg, and the fielder, that is Ntozake there, doing the job at long on.
So we have that long on. We have Janae Winster at
and so far 3 off this over.
Deep mid wicket, a deep square leg, and a 45, a fine leg at 45 on the circle. Oh. That one, Faye Tunnicliffe trying to cut it out into the offside, and just beats her. Very nice delivery. Just a bit more width though, so she perhaps a bit lucky to get away with that one. A bit shorter, but I've been impressed so far with what we've seen from Madison Landsman, and that one a lot of air.
Yes, that one a lot of flight, just slightly slower there, enabling Faye to get to the pitch of the ball and drive that one down to Ntozake at long on. Yes, very good over. What I'd like for Madison is probably to aim for, leg spinners like to aim for middle and off, for it to turn into off. I'd preferably want her to possibly even bowl on off, bowl the line on off stump, and have probably one that, probably if it's a top spinner, if she's got that, to just hold the
let it
line,
keep on the
or
line, yeah.
force the batter to play on the offside rather than going to their strengths down the leg side.
Yeah, that would be really good. We see, I think Shannon indicating that she does have that in her armory. They've had to talk about Sibe there. So it's going to be going to see Kula bowling medium paces.
Kula.
Kula.
Yes, from the Free State.
From the Free. Okay, so. Herself and Isel Saliers from the Free State, both in this Coronations team. So quite a mix that we have here in the team. Other Western Province players, Southwestern Districts, and Northwest.
So that's what I loved about, I think, with the coaching selections. You've got Adele van Eck at Easterns, who's the coach of the Coronations. You've got Sean Pretorius, who coaches Gauteng, the assistant coach. This ball seaming in there into Faye Tunnicliffe there.
Almost like she was a bit early on the shot. Almost
she was.
Expecting it to go a bit faster onto her, but
it was a lot slower than she expected, and it was a nice little cutter, or just cut in there into the right-hander.
So I think this, if I remember rightly, we very similar scores now in the 10th over. Also, the Coronations batting at about 5 and over. That one is pummeled out into the leg side. Tasman Brits throws that javelin.
You can see the experience
there.
that Faye has there with the adjustment on the pace. It was the first ball. She thought it would come slightly faster than what you expect. There's a lot of, I think, with Zintle, she does a lot of work in terms of her running up until the point of delivery, but when the ball came out a lot slower in that first one. So Faye managed with the second one to be able to adjust that, and now Sinead Lee's playing that out to the offside. Madison Lansman, the fielder, with a throw in from the boundary, and the Duchesses run through for 2. That's 50 up on the board, 50 or 58 balls. Also looking
on track, aren't they? At this stage, this partnership is keeping them on track. 42 for this partnership so far.
Yes, Zintle Kula in 2. Sunelis, who plays that out onto the leg side, massive boundary there, and Tasman Brits with that javelin arm. The Duchess is not willing to take that one on for size there, and it's just a single. It's interesting now because obviously Zintle Kula is not a frontline seamer so this is the moment where the Duchesses need to capitalize.
They do
to get closer to that target of 130. But what a Yorker there, block hole ball there. Really great ball from Zintle Kula.
Good running there from Sinead Luce calling Faye Tunnicliffe through for that one. Faye Tunnicliffe not knowing where that ball was necessarily, but that's a good example of the international experience that Sinead Lease brings to this team.
Zintle's only taken 2 wickets in WSL 1 and 2, a best score of 2 for 15. Economy rate's 5.5.5.
Okay, well that's for T20 not bad. This looks like it's going to go over the top. It does indeed. It was hit up high in the air, and Raisibe Mutazaki manages to field it, but heart in mouth for a little while, I'm sure. Sinead with that one.
But it's
safe enough.
It is safe enough, and it's good for strike rotation. The team that's going to win this tournament is a team that has the ability to be able to rotate the strike. I think from a bowling perspective, I think there's quality bowling on show here at the WSL 3.0. So you need to be able to nudge, nurdle, find the gaps, and rotate the strike. The boundaries will come, and when they put them away, but especially in the first 10 overs, building up to the first 15, it's about strike rotation, which Laura showed us really well with Kirsty Thompson. In the first innings, it was all about boundaries. In the first match, it was all about boundaries, especially with the Starlights. And it is hard to bat on here, seemingly. There's not a lot of pace coming off the pitch to assist the batters, so it's just about being able to find the gaps, nudging,
a bit slow,
and moving it around.
It does look a bit slow, Paul. I say this rain probably not helping the spinners at all.
Madison resuming again from the Calvin Grove end. This one is a leg spinner, gets the edge, and she has a wicket. What a catch from Vernissa Reddy. It was a leg spinner that bamboozled Faye Tunnicliffe there. She tried to play it down the leg side, gets the edge, and the alertness of Berenice already there to
Yeah.
come down with that diving one-handed catch and secure Madison Landsman her first wicket in
Yeah.
WSL 3.0.
Well done there too, both Madison Landsman and Berenice Reddy. A great catch, but Landsman giving that ball more air than SAA are flying in at the moment. And so really good to see that, and the ball just turning, dipping and turning and getting the edge, and well taken.
You know, and I said
behind.
earlier that her line should be more of an off-stump line. This one was middle to off, and it got that natural variation, and well done to Madison.
Yeah, very
really great ball
well
from a leg spinner. You gotta love it when a leg spinner rips it.
Absolutely, and that could be the turning point, one of the turning points in this match, in the chase for the Duchesses. A very important wicket there they've lost, and it is now, as you said in Paul earlier on, it's Michaela Kirk that has come in now, and she will join her captain Sine Lees, and she's facing Madison Landsman, the 16-year-old sensation from Eastons. Didn't have a chance to see her batting earlier on today, but we have certainly seen her bowling and picked up her first wicket in WSL cricket, and bowling from the Kelvin Grove end, and she has an additional fielder in the Hardydar there at long off.
Oh, that's Michaela Kirk providing a little bit of respect to young Madison Landsman there. Just sending it back to the bowler. That line was slightly leg sided. She could have played it and gotten a single there. It was probably would have been a low risk shot. Madison again giving it the flight, swept down to back to square leg there. Field on the boundary is Ayabonga Kaka, and it is back in. Good to see that the Protea fielders are on the boundary in this game.
Again, something that in the earlier match that the Starlights did against the Thistles, where Laura Goodall took a couple of good catches on the boundary. So Sine Lees will be facing this delivery.
Madison giving it a lot of flight there, and Sine Lees playing that flat, batting that down to long on, and it's a single.
Do you think, Paul, that they're just waiting for it to bounce? It seems like they're playing off the pitch at the moment. I mean, that's sort of flat batting it down to. I mean, that ball was well outside the off stump. One senses they could have perhaps difficult to say cut it, yes or
yes. Landsman again. This one played out to the offside by Michaela Cook. It was slightly fuller there, and it is a single. Yes. So I think Sune's premeditating largely, because we've seen all the variations from Madison are leg breaks, so they do break that way. So it's a lot. I think she's just it is premeditation. There is an option to cut the ball, but I think that's very dangerous. With what Berenice just did
leg
in
side, and I mean she's done that again, but to very good effect in this instance, where she's gone across to off, and that was a very good shot. Took advantage of it, perhaps not just being a little bit short, and the slow turn coming off the pitch.
Yes, that was very slow. That was very slow in reaching Sine Lees, and it just helped her. The line was all off down the leg side, and easy 4 runs there from Sine Lees.
This match is by no means done and dusted.
No, James. It's
9 overs to go, and required to win 72. That's an easy calculation. 8 runs and over. So it's going to be Zintle Kula to continue from the Weinberg end. And
so that means a slight increase in the pace of the batting, but you'll get that gradual climb to a finish. But very competitive game so far between the number 1 and number 2 last year's WSL.
What Sine Lees will want now is for Michaela Kirk to do exactly what she is doing, and turning over the strike back to her and to stay with her. So the longer Michaela Kirk and Sine Lees can bat together, the more chance one would sense the Duchesses have of securing this game, which would be, I think, a bit of a surprise.
I don't think it would be a bit of a surprise. I think the bowling attack from the Coronations without Nadine de Klerk is one seamer short.
Yeah, they are.
Zintle Kula there with the wide ball there. She has to bowl that one again.
It's only the second wide, which has been quite a disciplined display so far. So 5 bowlers. Kula, the 5th bowler to be used so far. We are expecting, I would think, to see Winster perhaps bowling as well
Yes.
in this instance. So interesting to see that.
Oh,
How
gone
did that-
through everything.
how did
Everything.
that miss?
Missed everything, and
Yeah.
it will go for four byes.
buys, yeah. That the
Yes,
bowler
Zintlekula can't
she
understand
can't,
how
Can't
it
handle
went
that.
through
She
everything.
thinks that
Past-
probably went through the stumps, not actually past them. But it must have just been a coat of varnish, literally.
Yeah, it was just
And another, and for the wicket keeper, another lining of leather on those gloves that missed out. Veronisa Reddy very unhappy with herself there for having missed that one, but they all count.
down the leg side again from
nicely
Kula
played.
and played square by Sunolis, who manages to get 2 runs with Michaela Cook there. Michaela was looking for a third there, but sent back rightfully by her captain.
Clever play.
Yes.
Sune also went to the women's IPL.
Yes, the women's T20
challenge. Sorry,
Yes,
okay.
played for, I think the team's name was Velocity, yes.
Okay.
Scored
Alright.
37 in the first game against the Supernovas,
Right.
batting at number 6. So she has the ability to be a versatile batter in the batting order. This one played out very expertly out to the offside, past the diving captain there, Laura Wolfhard, at extra cover for 2 runs. Madison Landsman, the fielder there on that in that extra cover boundary.
Yeah, it's Madison Landsman bowled well in that previous over, and fielding out on the boundary. One senses perhaps that isn't the ideal place for her.
10 off this
But,
over already.
yeah.
Zintlekula will be hoping to drag it back, bring it back. This one
Oh,
driven
she
straight
won with
down
that
the
one.
ground.
There is
Raisibe Ntozaki, the fielder, coming from long on. Great anticipation there
single.
from her. And it's just a single.
So this is going to go down to the wire, one senses, and
Not the
I have,
wires they're putting into that
no,
building over there at the Calvin Grove end.
not the rebar that they're using plenty of, I'm sure, to get those
Oh, look,
that
then
concrete up there.
We have
Yeah.
some spectators there on
We
the
do.
far end.
We do seem to have some spectators.
construction workers
Yeah.
have taken a liking to the WSL 3.0,
that's
just
a great
like you
shot.
who are watching us, and that's a beautiful shot from Michaela Kirk. Opened her body up,
Yeah.
played that off to the offside through the row of fielders there at cover point, and it's 4 runs, and that ends that over. It's 15. Coming off of that over from Zintlekula. You kind of feel it's probably one extra over, but so far Laura's used 4 of her bowlers. Looks,
this is
now
this
she
is
needs
gonna
to
go
find
down
that
to
6
the
bowlers.
wire,
We're entering that realm of the 6 bowler now.
So we'll have to use a 6 bowler definitely.
And
It looks
that
like Kirsty
is
Thompson is coming on to bowl from the Kelvin Grove end. This will be my last over for the match matches today. I'll be joining you again on Wednesday, and so it's been really a pleasure being here today with you from 6 Gun Grill Newlands, and we apologise for that earlier break in transmission, which unfortunately
that was
we
out of
couldn't
our
do anything
control.
about.
You couldn't even find YouTube anyway.
Couldn't do anything. So it will be Kirsty Thompson who's going to be bowling from Calvin Grove end to Sine Luce, and at this stage one must say that if these two stay together, then the Duchesses are favourites.
Right arm off spin, Kirsty Thompson, that's short and played out to deep mid wicket, cow corner, and it is 2 runs there. Great running from the Duchesses.
Very good running. Some good fielding from Isabel Celia. She really got that one in very quickly, but unable to prevent the second. And this is becoming looking quite difficult for
it's
the.
become a lot easier for the
Coronations.
Duchesses. Also, a fuller ball there, speared into the legs, and great fielding from Janae Winster to prevent a single there. She's fielding at that shortish mid wicket on the square.
So, as one would expect, a 5-4 leg side field for the off spin of Kirsty Thompson.
Outside the off stump, driven down the ground, or flat batted there, and I have one. Yes, no, it's Raisibe there.
Is that Raisibe?
At long off.
Jane.
Okay, so it's going to be Kirsty Thompson again.
Kirsty, that one turned a bit there and sweeping against, trying to sweep with the spin there, but she just got, Michaela got down there very quickly and just got a bit of an edge past the keeper for a single.
Probably the edge possibly saved her there from a very large appeal, one senses, from the bowler and the wicket keeper, and reasonable over so far. But
giving that one flight there. Nice little scoop
there. She missed out
down the leg side, and the field at 45.
So Sine Lys and Michaela Cook doing very well here. 27 their partnership, and Chris will be joining you after this delivery to take you with them, Paul, through to the end of this match.
Final 7. That's a fuller length ball driven out to mid-wicket. Tasman Brits, the fielder there. End of that over, the 13th over. Thank you very much, James.
Thank you very much, Paul. And over to Chris.
Yes.
7 overs, if it lasts that long.
Yes. 82 for 2. Duchesses needing a 51 to win off 7 overs at 7.3 runs required per over. They have brought that run rate down from 8. It's more manageable now and hitting closer to a runner ball, which is something that the Duchesses would want to see here. And it's up to Captain Sine to show that experience and take her team home. Jane Winster is getting ready to bowl as well.
Right arm orthodox bowler. In the last WSL, she had the best economy rates of any of the bowlers who bowled more than 10 overs. So there are a couple of bowlers who bowled 2 or 3 overs with a better economy rate. But nice and economical.
Laura looking to use that economy rate to drag this game back in her favour. This one is swept out to the square leg. Great arm and throw from Izal Saliers, preventing the second. Michaela Cook always looking for a second. I love the fact that Sine has found a partner who's willing to try and turn the ones into twos and take those seemingly should be dot balls into one. So that's good to see from the Duchesses and Michaela Cook. Great ball there from Jane Winster and played out to the fielder on the square there at mid-wicket.
Yeah, you spoke about this partnership. Both these women play for Northerns together, so you'd imagine that they've batted together a fair bit in the past as well.
Short ball there from Jane, played out to the fielder at mid-wicket there, who's still on the square there. Yes, well, you're bowling to your field, that's what you need to do. She's eyeing that and darting those ones, and they're actually quite quicker than most of the spinners who've bowled for the Coronations today. That one's wide outside the off stump and driven through the covers for a 4 to Sine Lys. She takes her total to 41. Great shot there from Sine using the width.
Yeah, we spoke about this being a really good total, and for the fact that the Duchesses had to have a good start. And we really got that on Tunnicliffe and Lys. Now Tunnicliffe gone, but Lys still there, 41, and now building this lovely partnership with Kirk as well.
I kind of think Laura needs a sweeper on the offside for that wide one. This one straighter now on the off stump and played back to the bowler. No run. She's got 3 ring fielders on the offside and no one on the boundary. This ball is scooped, a nice little dill scoop from Sine Lys, showing the bag of tricks that she has there.
They think about 3 but decide against it in the end.
Yeah, 2 runs
overall,
there.
7 runs off the over. It's okay, not exactly the economical role I was expecting anyway from.
Loving the initiative there from Sine Lys, finding ways to score runs where seemingly they haven't been. Jane has been, Winster has been darting it in onto that middle stump, off stump line, and Sine just coming around, just chipping it over, creating, moving the ball towards where she wants to play rather than necessarily being dictated to by what the bowler has provided with the captain. So that's very good from Sine Lys. Michaela Cook and Sine, that Northern's partnership, seemingly working for Marta Lee's Fundamava. who is their coach at Northerns as well.
As we see, Kirsty Thompson into.
It is quite smart there. From Martelise to always try to look for those type of combinations and partnerships from people who've played together before. Great cut shot there, only to the square where Zintle Kula was at backward point. Suneli sending her partner back because it would have been a risky single, and sense needs to prevail first over and above trying to take risks. It's not the time for risks yet. Flighted ball driven down the ground. It is Michaela's looking for two, and they're going to take two there as Suneli is calling her partner in, and she's running to the danger end at the non-striker, and they've gotten two from there. I love how this partner, these two just keep on turning ones into twos.
And again, Thompson, this one slightly quicker dart that just goes down leg side. It's called wide.
The pressure's now starting to tell for Kirsty Thompson, trying to just make sure with a quicker ball to stifle that sweep and get some sort of a mistime.
Yeah, just on that offside wide line, slightly shorter deliveries, just cut towards Kula at point, and again there's no run off this delivery.
No, slow pace there, which kind of helped Kirsty Thompson just get a bit of a bearings there. But that's what you want. You want to play with the variations. You want to play with pace. You want to play with also length as well as line and also variation from the type of ball that comes out of your hand there. Very good there. Second ball, that is a dot ball, creating the pressure from Kirsty Thompson in this over. As the run rate goes up, every dot ball creates that pressure.
7.7 at the moment. Lovely reverse sweep there from Kirk. Again, it goes to Kula, and they go through just for the single direct hit. But
some great throws from Zintle Kula there behind square on the offside, showing everyone that she's got her eye in.
Yeah, we got to see some of the warm-up drills, and they were definitely hitting the wickets very consistently there when they're practicing their fielding.
93 for 2.
Ooh,
that's a drop chance. Did that come off the bat?
I didn't think so. The wicket keeper was between us and the ball, and obviously we're not close enough to get the audio. But yes. I don't think there was an edge there.
End of the 15th, 93 for 2. At this point, the Coronations were 90 for 1. And so this partnership was 39. The Duchesses need 8 and over. They need 40 to win over these last 5 overs.
I think we have a very good match on our hands here.
Yeah, it's a great way to end the first day of the WSL. Number 1 and 2 from last year, fighting it out for that advantage going into day 2. The teams that have lost will go back to the drawing board, trying to figure out what they can do better. Jane Winster again.
Another dart on that middle stump, foolish delivery. It's just doesn't make it past Kirsty Thompson fielding there at square leg, and they go through for a single.
Very good action from Jane. I'm loving the fact that she's pushing the ball quicker to the batsman, forcing the batsman to react a lot quicker. It's one of those where sometimes when you give the ball flight, the batsman has the ability to be able to get to the pitch of the ball. Sometimes you just need to dart it in and create that pressure as well.
Slightly more flights on this one, skied, but it'll make it over the ring, but short of the fielder on the boundary, and they're going to try for 2, and they'll get there quite easily in the end.
Yes,
just a little chip over the infield, whether intentional or not.
The Duchesses will get there by running 2s, just rotating the strike, and you'll get there, putting the pressure back onto the fielding side. Ring field here for Jane.
Powerful shot that is stopped just inside the square there by Kula, and so
that went very quickly to her, but she had some great reflexes to prevent that second run that could have been, and that's important for her team. It's something that can help uplift the team and increase the confidence.
Powerful shot there from Kirk. It looks like it's good fielding there on the
Tasman Brits there,
far corner boundary.
Yeah, Tasman Brits covering that large expanse of mid-wicket all the way, probably to even a long on that boundary. I know that there is a long on fielder here, but it's a really large piece of ground there on the longer side of the boundary.
This one's slightly slower, but still the same sort of, didn't get very high, even if it was a slow delivery, and again, doesn't get further than Kula inside the square.
Yes.
Another sweep shot from Lees, another picked up again by Tasman Brits, and another single.
Great fielding from Tasman Brits.
Gun of an arm.
Yeah, keeping that. Normally, if it was anybody else there, it probably would have been a 2, and they probably would have put pressure on the fielder by testing that arm. But because of how great a fielder Tasman is, she prevents a single there. 99 for 2, 6 off of that over. A runner ball, which for Laura Wolfart she'll be happy with from Jane Winster. The final 4 overs, you've got Ayabonga Kaka still with 2. And you've got Zintle Kula with 2. And we see Ayabonga Kaka getting the ball now. Laura's looking for a wicket. This partnership of 45 needs to be broken. If not, Laura and the...
Well, that's another Jafta.
Okay,
brilliant.
We are back. Sorry about that intermission. We had a bit of technical difficulties. We're back with the Duchesses now, 121 for 4, just losing the wicket of Michaela Kirk. We'll run through what happened towards the air, what happened in the intermission. But just know that what is needed is 12 off of 5 balls to win this game. Sinalo Jafta is in, and walking in to join her is Alyssa Exleben. That is yes,
a name that I learned to pronounce by
Exleben.
watching some old college football of a player with the same surname.
That is that's very interesting. So pressure, as James says there. So the wicket of Tsunei Lis fell off 53 of the last over from Ayabonga Kaka. She bowled a very smart over it was 7 there in that over. It was actually 9, sorry, I beg your pardon. But there was a wicket in the 4th ball of that over, and that was of Sunay Lis. She played on to the leg stump. Next ball from Jade Winster was played out to the leg side, to fine leg, and Sinalo and Alyssa run for 3. Which means that the Duchesses now need 9 off of 4 balls to win this match. It's tight. It's tighter than tight. And this is what we wanted from the WSL 3.0. Jane Winster, right arm off spin, has bowled really well. And great tight line there, bowled by Jane. And they're looking to run, and there's a run out. And Alyssa and Sinala had a bit of confusion there, and the Duchesses lose another wicket. Pressure telling there for the side, and it is just unbelievably going wrong for them right now.
Yeah, good exciting cricket at the end here. Glad that the rain didn't get in the way of any of that, as it looks like we've seen Michaela Andrews come to the crease, who had a very good bowling innings and took a couple of catches as well.
Yes. So can Michaela Andrews? So now they need 9 off of 3. So 2 hits gets you home.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we haven't seen too many 6s today, but
2 4s. Game is tied, but we know that the next ball is a boundary. That's what they're looking for. The problem is the batters didn't cross. And so Sinalo, who is seemingly the senior partner now here after facing a couple of balls, she's on 9 not out, is at the non-strikers end. So it's going to fall on the bat of Michaela Andrews. Michaela Andrews there as Southwestern Districts versus Southwestern District. Jane Winster and Michaela Andrews. Jane to her Southwestern District's teammate. This is in the air. It's on the circle, looking like a catch for Laura Wolfart there. Great innings there. Great catch there from the captain, Laura Wolfart. Great captaincy innings for the Coronations, and another wicket has fallen. Jane has taken 2 wickets in a row. One was run out, the second one was hers, and so her figures now go for 2 for 22, and it seemingly looks over. Yes, 9 needed from 2 balls. We can get a tie. Here,
Right.
if each of the balls go to the boundary. Sinalo Jafta, we're just waiting for another batter to come in there with the departure of Michaela Andrews. Looks like these wickets have been falling thick and fast, and so we're just waiting to see who's the next batter to come in from the Duchesses, and it is number 14. That is Zintle Mali coming in to partner with Sinalo Jafta. Just unfortunate that Sinalo got stuck there at the non-strikers end as the senior partner. She came in with a nice little cut for 4 after the wicket of Sine Lise when the Duchesses needed a boundary, and she managed to get it. Sinalo is at the strikers end. They managed to cross, so Sinalo is the one to take the team home if it's possible and save this match. But it looks now like the Coronations have it in their grasp. Jane Winster showing that she can bowl spin at the death. Sinalo coming down the wicket, playing it out to the leg side, and she gets can only manage to get a single. The fielder at 45 is Ayabonga Kaka. She's disappointed, kicking her bat there at the non-strikers end. What a bowling performance from Jane Winster, 2 for 23, and having to bowl that last over, and really great trust and confidence shown in her by Laura Wolfart. And Jane Winster to Zintle Mali, who plays this one down the ground for just a single to end this match. 125 for 6 do the Duchesses get to. That means they all lose this match by 7 runs. By 6 runs, I beg your pardon. They needed to win that one, and so that's the end of the second match in the first day of the WSL. We'll be back tomorrow with a match between the Coronations, who just won this one, against the Starlights at 10 a.m. The Starlights losing that game. Remember that Starlights team with Lizelle Lee and Lara Goodall losing to the Thistles early in the morning. And then the Thistles versus the Duchesses there in the afternoon. The Duchesses will be looking to have another match, hoping to open their account as well tomorrow, and the Thistles looking to extend their lead and take this one down to the wire in the final day. Chris, any final words from you?
It's been good, exciting cricket. We weren't sure exactly what to expect coming into this. We had seen some players for the first time. Overall, very high quality of cricket, given the fact that there's been a big gap in people playing, and entertaining cricket, especially that second match. I'm sure we can look forward to a lot more of that in the 2
lots more runs
days.
in that second match. You saw bowling and fielding is what's winning you games here in the WSL.
You just need 1 or 2 batsmen to fire to hold up.
Build partnerships and go. And as the rain falls down in Newlands, we thank you very
rain.
I know.
The game might be called off if it was still happening now.
Yes.
The Rains was polite enough to wait for the cricket to finish as they're bringing on the covers in the background.
Onwards to day 2. I'm very excited to see some of the players that did well today come through again tomorrow. Loved Sine Lise at the top of the order. Kirsty Thompson stepped up very well.
If everything goes correctly, we should see Nadine de Klerk come back for tomorrow's fixtures as well.
And also Banetti of the Thistles as well, someone we're excited to see to tomorrow as well. But very good day's work so far. Today we saw 2 three half centuries. One, Laura Wolfart today, I think she scored 52. Sinoli scored 53, and Annika Bosch scoring 54 for her team, the Thistles, today. So very good cricket. But thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We will see you tomorrow at a very wet 6-gun Gill Newlands, hoping tomorrow will be sunny as it was this morning. For myself, Chris and James, as well as Johan from the team from Pitch Vision, le sale kakagiso.